Educating girls provides socio-economic benefits for all cultures and societies.
Too many are either out of school or receive inadequate education because of conflict, lack of safety, or discrimination.
The world economy is losing a possible $92 billion per year as a result of failing to educate girls.
The education of girls enables a higher rate of socio-economic improvement than any other investment in the developing world. Gender equality in education is an important factor in the success of meeting all the Millennium Development Goals. These goals were developed by the United Nations in 2000 to be met by 2015, including achieving universal primary education and promoting gender equality. The estimated $92 billion economic loss would be instrumental in diminishing poverty. The World Development Aid budget is only 11% more overall. With global partnership, aid and monetary donors have increased their spending into education. The Department for International Development have stipulated that this money should follow the development strategies of the recipient country to ensure no external westernised views are implemented. But in Nigeria in 2013, Boko Haram publicised that if any schools were teaching in a westernised way, they would kill teachers. A year later, they kidnapped 276 schoolgirls.
I abducted your girls. Abubakar Shakar adds, I will sell the women in the market by Allah.
In certain cultures, girls and women are seen as keepers of the house. And men can be intimidated by the educated woman and their effects.
But educating girls can reduce child mortality, HIV/AIDS, and increase maternal health. Plus, an increasing trend was discovered between the mortality rates of young children and undereducated mothers.
So what can be done to get girls into school?
The neoliberal and world culture theories of globalization surround the incentives for encouraging poor and marginalized children into school.
They are working successfully for girls.
Conditional cash transfer provides families with money to cover education costs only if their daughter attends school. This is one of the most successful incentives as governments provide funds for the hidden costs of education such as stationery and uniform. But the level of maintained attendance achieved has been mixed and tends to be less effective in areas of higher education provision.
Free primary education for every child does increase enrollment, but the quality of education can suffer. Evidence indicates that low pass rates of final year exams is common where this incentive is used. Safety is important for girls in rural areas. Most girls travel by foot, and in areas where they are victims of violence, safety becomes key in keeping girls in school.
Free meal programs provide food for children that attend school. In rural areas, this may be the only full meal they eat during the day. It has mixed results.
Before the lunches were provided, poor parents often sent their children to work, and about 1 million kids were out of school.
After about 6 years of this program, The latest data, the census which we did in 2007, shows that the number of children who are out of school has reduced to 70,000.
In Bangladesh, the programme has seen a huge increase in attendance and enrolment, but in other countries, negligible changes have occurred.
Female-friendly incentives provide female role models and sanitary environments for girls in school. Although these interventions are socially beneficial and have caused improvements in enrollment, little evidence supports its use. However, the most important incentives to encourage more girls into school is the relevance and quality of education.
Research has shown links between strong enrolment and education quality. Organised schools with good teacher training, student-teacher ratios, number of classrooms and materials also help retain the girls that enroll. Girls are more sensitive to education quality than boys, requiring quality teaching environments for the successful education of girls. A forgotten aspect of quality education is its relevance and equality to the children who access it. There is little education for preparing children for the global market, and important life skills are not being developed. Therefore not preparing them for adult life, earning an income and becoming self-sufficient.
But schools in marginalized and developing areas segregate girls and boys into subject types.
Boys are taught maths, science and technology, whereas the girls have to study food and textiles. Some countries use girl-only subject camps that provide opportunities for girls to experience the subjects they would not be taught at school.
But this segregation still occurs in developed countries and at higher education levels. Universities in Iran have begun to stop women studying certain subjects, specifically the sciences, technology, and engineering. The gender gap, however, has decreased over time, which has been linked to the use of subject camps. It is still considerably large in urban areas and in secondary education.
Girls experience an 18% economic return from their investment into secondary education compared to a 14% return for boys.
However, secondary education is rarely attended by girls owing to
parents removing them from education to assist with family matters, exam failure preventing them from entering secondary school or even continuing their secondary education.
Girls are more likely to attend low-quality government schools compared to boys who populate private high-quality schools. Suggesting that boys receive preferential treatment towards their education.
Governments and families need to recognise the beneficial economic returns that secondary education can bring, plus the interpersonal development that secondary education provides. So what should be done now? The role of the woman needs to be radically reformed, but with respect to the cultural views within their society. Governments must enable this change as custodians of gender equality and reform demand-side barriers such as exams. Through more females in power, such as government officers, members of state, doctors, nurses and teachers.
Training teachers to become agents of gender equality in their classrooms.
Global education aid monies should pay for incentives and teacher training while maintaining respect for surrounding cultural views.
Schools need to become exciting and safe places for girls to enroll and to maintain their attendance. Overall, schools must be tailored to suit the girl before being adapted for the boy.
The world has achieved equality in primary education between girls and boys, but few countries have achieved that target at all levels of education.
Secondary education is the next milestone to ensure every girl has the opportunity for education worldwide.